Ladies and gentlemen, hunters of all ages, after reviewing the data, running countless experiments, and testing theories, today we answer the age-old question that has plagued hunters for generations. After erudite study and with mathematical precision, it is with a high level of certainty that I can provide an answer to you today. Is it better to kill or capture monsters? The answer? Yes. Hello and welcome, hunters. I am Zygosium, and today I want to address the debate of capturing versus killing monsters. Every new game, the question will inevitably arise, so I'm here to set the record straight and give an answer backed not by opinion, but by math. For the purposes of this video, we will be looking exclusively at Monster Hunter Wilds. While some of the concepts and mechanics discussed will also be applicable to other entries in the series, not all of them are universal, and outside of this specific game, they may not hold true. Before we start looking at pros, cons, and rewards of each method, we need to be clear in the different types of ways we receive rewards. The concept of pools. Every time you receive any piece of a monster, including wound breaks, part breaks, carves, and capture pieces, or rewards for completing a mission, these items are randomly generated on two criteria: the pool of potential rewards and the weight or percentage of the items within. I will quickly cover the different pools in Monster Hunter Wilds so that going forward we have a baseline of each and what to expect. Starting with the reward screen for a mission, we have bonus rewards. These are the rewards we can see in the boxes for investigations and field surveys. You will not get these in assignment, optional, or event quests. The rewards most sought after in this category are Artian pieces, decorations, and guaranteed rare drops like monster plates or gems. Target rewards are randomized monster parts, comprised of most but not all of what we see in the large monster field guide. The amount you receive by default seems to be random between a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 8, with the first reward always being a monster ticket. This pool is the only way to earn these tickets, however some rarer materials, like gems, can also be found in this reward section. The final pool specific to the mission end screen is rewards. The number of rewards received is again between 4 and 8, with the first item always being fixed. This pool draws from the items that are listed in the mission information screen, which can include monster parts that are not locked to one specific monster, like sacks or bones. Your rewards section will regularly consist of decorations and armor spheres. The hunter symbols are one of the bigger rewards available when fighting tempered monsters specifically, and become the guaranteed first item for field surveys and investigations in this category. Only upon quest completion are these pools drawn from. However, the following pools are active prior to the fight ending. Each one outlined will have their percentages per piece explicitly stated in the large monster field guide. Wound destroyed rewards and broken part rewards go hand in hand. These pools will provide a piece from the monster in the event that you pop a wound or break a part, respectively. The pools do not consist of many items, with some only having a single item available, making it a guaranteed reward upon completing the corresponding action. Similar to the part break, the tail carve pool is specific to monsters whose tails are severable. In this instance, you will not receive a reward immediately upon severing, but instead you must take the time to carve the tail for the reward. Most monsters' rarest item can be found relatively more frequently in a tail carve than other applicable pools, with a few notable exceptions, looking at you, Steve and Laggy. The last pool is carving. However, don't let the name mislead you. Carving encompasses the default 3 rewards you receive by carving a monster corpse at the end of a fight. However, this pool is also the one that is drawn from in the event you capture a monster. When captured, a default 3 monster pieces will pop up on the side of your screen in lieu of the 3 pieces you would have otherwise carved. Another instance that occurs is your Palico's Plunderblade. This event also draws between 1 and 3 pieces from the monster's carving pool and gives you the rewards immediately. While this is not specified by name in the large monster field guide, because both capturing and the Plunderblade can result in gems from monsters like Lagiacrus, but cannot give monster tickets, carving is the only pool that qualifies for both capturing and Plunderblade. With the pools explained, we can now traverse the battlefield that is the debate, capture versus carve. Which gives more rewards, which gives better rewards, and generally, which is better? The only way to figure that out is with data. In an attempt to keep all things equal, optional quests maintain the monster's health, strength, starting location, and size, so it makes for a much more uniform testing grounds. I chose the optional mission The Chains of Life, a 7-star Archveld with 3 strength stars. As he is not tempered, this also removes some difficulty and variability with wound generation and part breaking. Next is my rule set. To start, using an online random number generator, I randomize the order of kill or capture in an attempt to combat acclimation. I also will not eat a meal so as to avoid any benefit from any meal skills, instead eating a well-done steak prior to combat so that it does not calculate into my total time. My armor and weapon will remain consistent between each test, and I will not swap weapons mid-hunt. Lastly, I will leave my Palico in base camp to avoid any traps, flashfly cages, or damage buffs. I will not use any mantles, and will also not mount, not purposefully use environmental traps, or otherwise have Archveld sustain any damage that is not directly from my weapon. Otherwise, I will fight as normal. I will target wounds as I see them. If a tail cut presents the opportunity, I will take it, and fast traveling to a nearby camp when Archveld transitions areas is permissible. Because these are optional quests, I will not have bonus rewards to account for, eliminating that entire pool, and with no cat to Plunderblade, that element is also removed. In this way, by hunting Archveld a total of 20 times, 10 kills, 10 captures, I can most equally compare the amount of rewards, the quality of the rewards, and the overall completion time. This is the part where I could bore all of you with the math, however, in an attempt to not torture my audience, I have elected to skip most of it. Perhaps I will make another video on it in the future, but for now, ta-da! After my testing and comparing data between my capture and kill missions, as well as looking at probabilities and how the mechanics that give rewards works, my answer to the big question, capture versus kill, which is better, is it depends. And I'm not saying that to be non-committal. Truly, after crunching the numbers, capturing is better in some instances than carving and vice versa. In most single fight instances, meaning looking at carving versus capturing one fight at a time, all things being equal, there is no significant difference. It is only once we start either modifying the number of rewards received or fight multiple times that trends begin to show. When looking at multiple fights consecutively, capturing is more efficient due to the decrease in average hunt time. The 10 kill missions I did had an average kill time of 6 minutes 35 seconds versus my average capture time of 4 minutes 54 seconds. A difference of roughly 1 minute 41 seconds. This means that based on this difference and the average kill time, if 2 identical hunters were hunting the exact same mission, with one killing and the other capturing, by the time the third monster was killed, the other would be capturing their fourth. I also took the difference between my fastest and slowest kill times and compared this to the difference of my fastest and slowest capture times, and both came out to be 1 minute and 27 seconds. This indicates that while my kill and capture times are clustered around 2 separate 2-minute windows, the fights varied in environmental trap damage, and Archveld transitioned more frequently the longer he lived, the consistency of my quest times is the same regardless of killing or capturing. This reinforces the idea that capturing would be superior the more fights you do. So what this means is this: if you need to hunt more than 3 monsters consecutively, whether it be for general monster materials, gems, tickets, anything, it will be more beneficial for you to capture as you can clear more runs faster, assuming you are consistent with your hunts. If you only need 1 part or 1 gem or just a couple of items, capturing versus killing is a wash, and it really doesn't matter much either way. With that information, let's take this one step further. What method is better if you are trying to maximize all your rewards, and what method is better if you are trying to get the really rare stuff? There is the belief that capturing a monster, while undoubtedly faster, effectively robs the player of potential wound or part breaks that would otherwise give a couple more rewards. After testing, I found that there is no significant difference between killing and capturing when it comes to wounds or part breaks. These 2 columns show the total number of wounds and breaks in each mission. The number in parentheses on the kill missions are when the break occurred after the point the monster could be caught, meaning they would have been missed. The averages for all the missions come out to be equal for both Carve and Kill, 8 wound breaks and 3 part breaks. The disclaimer here is that this mission has a non-tempered monster with only 3 part break points, not including the tail, and I am intimately familiar with Arkveld, having fought him more than any one other monster in Wilds. While my statement holds true in this situation, if any of these elements were different, the results may vary. However, the part and wound breaks will not give a gem, so what can we do to improve our odds at getting rare items? This is where Carver becomes the best option. Again, sparing you the math and all the variables, I looked at any method that affects carves, capture rewards, tail carves, and target rewards, and determined the method to maximize your chances to get a gem. Before starting the fight, eat the Azuz meal that gives Carver Pro. This will guarantee 1 extra carve from any carvable source, which occurs after the last normal carve is complete. This skill also will occasionally activate a second time, giving you the potential for 5 body carves and 3 tail carves. Also, before fighting, equip 3 pieces of either the Sakuratide armor or the Blossom armor, as the 3-piece set bonus gives the skill Festival Spirit, which gives an additional guaranteed carve on both the tail and the body, for a new grand total of 6 body carves and 4 tail carves. Also, use a lucky voucher. We will touch on this in a minute. Once in the fight, there is another element that can increase your odds, specifically your Palico's Plunderblade. They will randomly use this tool in the fight, and it can pull up to 3 rewards from the carving pool once used. This brings us to a total of 9 rolls from the carve pool, each one having a 5% chance to be a gem. In addition to this, we have 4 rolls from the tail carve pool with increased odds of 7% each. But we're not done yet. Once the mission is completed, the target rewards can also give gems. The first box is always the monster ticket, so if we disregard that, the game will give a minimum of 3 other rewards, up to a max of 7 more rewards. While you could rely on RNG to max your rewards, the daily lucky voucher you used prior to the fight will force the max rewards for both target and regular. This gives 7 rolls, each one at 3% chance for a gem. Again, to summarize, if we get every random chance affecting the number of rewards in our favor, we have 9 rolls in the carve pool at 5% each, 4 rolls in the tail carve pool at 7% each, and 7 rolls in the target rewards at 3% each. After running the probability of any one of these rewards resulting in a gem, the odds are 61.95%. This means odds are you will get at least 1 gem close to 2 out of every 3 hunts. This is all completely pointless, however, as investigations can guarantee gems in the bonus rewards. Unless you use this method alongside a gem investigation. Using this method, getting amazingly lucky all 4 times, 1 field survey, 3 investigations, and having 1 gem in the bonus rewards every time will have you potentially walk away from 4 quests with 6 or 7 gems. Running the numbers but using Carving Pro and the skill Glory's Favor found on the Clerk, Guild Cross, and Earring sets for bonuses to capturing and target rewards, the closest capturing can achieve is 50.74%. Carver is the clear winner in this case. And that is it, hunters. Carving and capturing is equal in any one instance, but if you are planning on hunting a monster more than 3 times, capturing is better, and if you want to maximize your odds of rare materials, Carver is king. These methods apply to most monsters with the exception of Jindahad and Zoshia, who cannot be captured, and the numbers lean even more favorably towards carving for the cephalopods who don't have a tail but can have up to 6 tentacles severed. Lastly, the monsters Gormagala, Mizutsune, Seregios, and Lagiacrus have different percentages and even pools where the gem can be obtained, and so the numbers will be a little different, but the trend is the same. This has been a really involved one, so please consider subscribing and liking the video. I would really appreciate it. If you want me to make a separate video detailing the math involved, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, please remember that this is a game and you are encouraged to hunt the way you want. but be mindful that other players in multiplayer will be hunting the way they want to. Communication and mutual respect is key, so if you want to hunt a particular way, be sure to fully communicate it and be prepared to not always have things go the way you want. A good rule of thumb is that the host of the mission decides kill or capture, so long as mission failure is not an immediate risk. Good luck to all you hunters out there, whatever it is you are hunting for. May your RNG be kind and the desire sensor be blind. Goodbye for now, but not for long.